Okay, now I want to look at using Scratch. What is Scratch? Now, first of all, I'm on a web page. So to go to this web page, I typed in Scratch.MIT.edu and it brought up this web page. So what is Scratch? So I'm going to click on About. Scratch. You can program your own interactive stories, games, and animations and share with your creations with online community. It allows you to create a program and learn how to code. So if we click on create, we go straight into the online Scratch program. So a few things to note here. This rectangle is called the stage. And this is where, like if you're creating a movie, this is where all the characters, the different parts you want, different things you want shown in your movie, that goes on your stage. So this rectangle is your stage. This cat is actually the logo, the icon, the avatar for Scratch, right? And he is a character called a sprite. Now we can get more of these sprites. So you'll see to the corner here, there's a cat head. Gonna look on, choose the magnifying glass, which is to search for a sprite. And there are a whole set of sprites here. So I'm just gonna choose the apple. All right, and I can drag and drop and place that apple anywhere. Same with the cat sprite. So I have two sprites here. I have the cat sprite and I have an apple sprite. And notice I can click on each one separately. And there's a little dustbin that shows up at the corner of that sprite. So I can delete it if I don't want it. Now on a stage, I can change the backdrop. And that's this icon here, and search, and I can choose any backdrop I want. Let's choose forest, right? Forest. Let's put the apple in that tree. Okay, now we have a backdrop. We have two sprites. So if we come on the other side of the page, you will see there's some tabs, three tabs: code, costumes, and sounds. Now you'll notice there's this green window down here, and this is a tutorial that you can go through to see how to use Scratch. So you can just play it. All right. And then there are more tutorials for you to see. Okay, to the top. Right. So we have three tabs here: code, costumes, and sounds. We will get to each one. Codes. Now these codes are how you're going to program. You're going to tell the different sprites what to do. You're going to instruct them on what to do. So these, you'll see the blue ones here, and then they turn to different colors. And those different colors are for motion, looks, sounds, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my blocks. Right? So we have different categories of programming scripts. So these are programming scripts. And these programming scripts, you're going to drag and drop them into this area here. This area is the scripts area. So this is where you actually create your program. And your program is a list of steps, right? Now, currently I'm clicked on the apple. So if, let me see, event, when I'm going to drag and drop that one on, because that's what you should start with, a green flag. Going to motion, let's see, I can have it turn. So you see, you have to connect them, right? The steps must be connected. They cannot be disconnected like this. So they should be connected. And if I wanted to get rid of this, just drag and drop it off the screen and it's deleted. All right, let me get it back. Okay, so this code I created for my apple sprite. So if I click on the cat sprite, Notice the code disappeared, right? That makes sense. So if I click back on the apple sprite, my code reappears because the code that I created was only for the apple. Now let's go for the costumes. Okay, so if I click on the costumes tab, there are a bunch of things I can do here. I'm seeing the apple, and I see I can change how it looks. I can type text if I want. I can paint something on it. All right. And do you notice it showed up in the stage? On the stage, the apple sprite actually changed. I can change the background, lines, so, eraser. So there are a number of things we can do here. All right. I can flip it. I can change it around. All right. So you could go ahead and play with it as you wish. Now, another thing you might want to do is to make a copy of it. So now I have two apples. That doesn't make sense though, so I'm going to delete that one. All right. Good. Okay, now you'll see this in the cat hair there. I can choose another sprite. I'm going to choose another apple. So here in this costume, I have one apple showing nothing on it. Remember, I made a mark, and if I click on the first one, I see a mark. So I can have apple, the single sprite apple with different costume. So I can change costume. It depends on the program you're going to make, okay? Then there's sounds. Right, there's a sound here. Yeah, I can do things to it. I can make it faster, slower, louder, softer, fade in, fade out, robot. I can add more sounds as well. So I can choose that. And there's a programming script for sound, right? Okay. Right, and then to see this play, let's see. Let me click on the cat sprite very quickly. Let me make him do something. So let me make him move, and I'm going to say 40 steps. And now I'm going to click on the green flag to see how it works. And if you noticed, my code, the sprites on the stage, did exactly as my code said. My code for the cat said for him to move 40 steps, which he did. And the code for the apple was for it to turn. So let's click on the green again. And look, my cat is going to move and my apple is going to turn. Right? So I've just created some code. I've created a Scratch program. And that's it. Next video, I'm going to show you how to save it and how to share it. So, see you next time.